All right, we're in it. It is live. This is game 41 of the tournament. This is the finale, the big one. The current standings are Medusa is in first place with 75 points, and Maxi is in second place with 72 points. This game is worth 5 points. Maxi is the only person that could knock off Medusa for the win, and that he would have to win and not be on Medusa's team. Everyone else is playing for a lower position at this point. Bremen is my captain. He's playing for us. He's subbing in for Ben, who has been having computer issues. I wish him best luck. Since we're out anyway, it's like, why even bother sending Ben, honestly? Man is playing for his team. That I understand, actually. He has a chance of getting second place if he wins and the right set of circumstances comes about. So Manu playing doesn't surprise me. He's playing for Team 7. He's their captain. Beyond 2 is playing for Medusa. He's the vice captain of Medusa's team. That's Team 2 in Seat 3. They're currently in first place. Andrew playing for Carl. It's Team 3 in Seat 4. Our first blue of the tournament. And the freaking VC's going nuts over it. Maxi's playing for his team. Team 6 in Seat 5. Scorcher is the captain of his team. That's Team 1 in Seat 6. And Pingu is the captain of his team. Team 5 in Seat 7. So, with that, good luck to all the teams. Blue to start. I'm sure Bremen is just kidding. I have to be careful with what I type because there's no tournament VC text chat. So if you say the wrong thing, you're going to get a deduction. That's unfortunate. I probably should just freaking move Discord out of the way. Hmm. 5-1. What is Brennan doing? Comping on freaking... Fuck you, Bremen. Yeah, I don't like what Bremen's doing. Bremen... I had RBO, shut up. You fucker. OMG. That's not acceptable in a tourney game. Scorch is acting like he was when he played with me. Hilarious. We're gonna yaw 7 now. Good job, Bremen. It's your fault. Already stalling pre-Hitler zone. Here we go. So here we are. This is the tournament. Scorcher can't even win. I don't even understand what he's playing for here. Why is he pushing so hard? Again, I think talking, saying, "Oh, you can't do this in tourney games" should be illegal, but whatever. Statements about the fact that this is a tourney game just have no place in a tourney game, in my opinion. But that's whatever. Not my freaking problem. See, the thing about it is Scorcher might be outing Liberal, though. He did the same thing as Liberal in my game. Oh, yeah, 7-3. I don't think Scorcher has a reason to be so mad about it. Only Pingu couldn't get yawed here. See, now if I would say the same thing. If Bremen were to start saying something like, "Oh, you can't even win the tournament. Why are you so mad?" That should be illegal. That's not chat that needs to exist in a tournament game. You should just be playing the game, right? Obviously, the game's going to be different. People are going to play differently because it's our tournament game, but, like, It has to be strategic in nature. It can't be because it's a tournament game. Or at least you can't out that it's because it's a tournament game. This is how fascism prevails. It is the fourth gov, and this is the most canceled. This is the finale. Wow. People couldn't just freaking play the game. I mean, I get it, right? Like, Bremen shouldn't be naming claiming. But, like, damn, man. Does it really warrant this kind of reaction? I wonder if he's retracted. I can't ask in VC text if he's retracted, because I didn't see. Bremen's chat is distinct, so it's pretty easy to tell what he's saying. Yeah. This is the most Pingu pick of all time. Damn. I feel bad for Bremen. He shouldn't have played. Oh well. The worst part is that 6-1 is totally possible to libs. It just ims for. Seven 4 comps. Yep. I have no words for this. This is just a toxic game, and I'm pretty sure libs are just fighting each other. Pretty sure Maxi's lib. Pretty sure Bremen is likely lib. So, but whatever. We can't win. Fight blue because one claimed blue, blue, blue. Nice pick, though. I like the pick on Maxi. Oh, me. Why doesn't either of 2-3 take Hitler Zone? This is the perfect game to take Hitler Zone in with 1-6. So 1-6 has to have a fascist, I think. Dude, Scorcher's going off on this game. I really don't understand why. Like, why is he so motivated? I don't get it. Everyone's being just toxic. Freaking Kex spamming me while I'm recording this. Everyone's just being toxic. It's impossible to try and read chat here. Like, fascists are just sitting back, like, doing whatever they want. And they're just adding fuel to the fire, I should say. Like, they're not just sitting back and saying nothing. They are going to be adding fuel to this fire and feeding it. Because that's what fascists want. They want the chaos, and they want libs to stop trying to make reads. I wasn't paying attention. Did 3-5 comp? No, it didn't. Is Berman fascist? I don't know. Why would he give up his own game as fascist? I don't know if Bremen is just doing this because he thinks 5-6 is too libs, or if he thinks, or what he thinks really. I thought I'd be impartial here, but I'm not, because we still have a stake at the end of the day. The best case scenario for us is that 2-5 is not on the same team as Bremen and that we win. Manu actually chatting here. Actually saying things is kind of interesting. So interesting. Well, of course you don't, Manu. Like, what does that help? Anything. So Manu's resigned to 6, which means Bremen's also resigned to 6. That's the world we're in now. That's what I get out of all that nonsense. Well, okay. If 1 makes 5 a non-option, why does 3 pick 5, quote unquote, first? And why are you allowing 1 the power to just kill a liberal in seat 5 in that case as well? Like, you know it's not 1-2-6, but there's a fascist in 2-6, likely. I don't know why people don't see that. Like, I'm pretty sure Maxi is lib with Bremen doing what he's doing. I think Bremen didn't actually expect to lose his govs over that, but whatever. Maybe he thought he could troll and just get away with it, which he shouldn't be doing. As much as I dislike what Scorcher was saying, he is right. Like, Bremen should not be trolling in a tournament game. Oh, me. We're up to 13 minutes in this recording. I have no words. I have no reads. I mean, I don't even know what 4-7 are doing. They're both silent, like... Like, 4's been talking to 5. Should just ask for a remake at this point. I'm actually surprised nobody in the game has started mentioning remake. Because I'm pretty sure we can. Like, if Brendan's lib, like, you need to, like, change this. I don't know. 3 is very liberal. I agree with 7 there. With Pingu. Okay. So 7 resigns to 3, to top deck twice to 3, although that's not an option. Uh, one isn't fascist with me taking back check comp and is yawing me. Stop acting fake. I don't think 2 is a liberal. Okay, so 6 is the SC then. 5 resigns to 6. 5 resigns to 6. I think Manu resigned to 6 earlier. I forget what Manu resigned to earlier. I think it was 6. And Bremen's resigned to 5 and 6. And then Pingu resigns to 3. So... yeah, 6 is the SE here. 6 has become the SE somehow. And I think Scorch is liberal, too. Like, my read is that somehow Bremen is liberal in this. Somehow. Like, I don't know what his fash lines would be, honestly. But it's because I haven't really put much thought into that. Even if he's fascist, it's probably not with either a 5-6, honestly. He might be, like, Hitler or something. Why is the most liberal person 2 here? That's true, they could have 9 to 5 after 3x. I kind of agree with Andrew. Maybe it's 1-4-5, but like, why would 5 be a fascist just because 1 is? Like, somebody's benefiting from calling 1 fascist, right? There's a liberal calling 1 fascist, and then there's a bunch of, like, there's a fascist or 2 calling Bremen fascist here for sure. Somebody's benefiting it from it, and it might be Scorcha, whoever Scorcha's team is. This is a hard game, though. Here comes the SC. Okay, so the SC6. Both of 7-4 call 1 fascist. 2 is calling 1 fascist. 5 is calling 1 fascist. That could contain all of the fascists. It could be 1-7. I actually see that. And then he M's 4 fascists. Why does Pingu M4? Actually, yeah, I think Maxi makes a good point too. I think he should pick 5. 5 called 2 fascist. So that he resigned to 6 when he was a viable SC. Bremen resigned to 5-6 when he was not a viable SC, so you can never pick Bremen. Manu wasn't really willing to SC either of 5-6. He kind of resigned a little bit to Scorcha, but it was really weak, and it wasn't really a resign. He's just kind of calling 1-5x. So you can kind of pick 2 on that logic too. Maybe 2 is not Hitler. Well, maybe 2 is Hitler trying to just get SC'd there. I don't know. It's always possible. Anything's possible, of course. So Oh, tough game. I really wish Bremen had not memed claimed in the beginning of the game. Yeah, now they're talking about the tournament. Yeah, they're literally just talking openly about the tournament. Okay. Games this game. I might not even upload this at this rate. Yeah, what am I saying? Of course I'm gonna upload it. But this is a really depressing game to watch. I'm sorry. Sorry to all the YouTube folks hoping for a good finale to the tournament. This is literally just a total shit show. There's no other word for it. So bad. Trying to make reads out of this is just the worst. Beyond's echoing me. Fucking Tyrox already starting. So after the last game, after God Medusa did his thing, Tyrox made it his vendetta. He was gonna like come into the VC and start talking about this shit. And of course, everyone's talking about the tournament, and I think it shouldn't be a thing. So, I mean, what can I say? You're literally fucking up my tournament win percentage here. Like, you take the tournament into consideration, but you don't take it into consideration to the point where it actually affects your reads about players. Like, you're not supposed to pick players based on what team they represent. That's ridiculous. You're not supposed to SE players just because they're on a certain team that doesn't gain much if they win. Like, there's so many things that are wrong with this. Like, Bremen's putting up. I'll give him some credit. He's putting up a fight. He's not just accepting that he's fascist and that he's losing. If it's 1-3-4, 6-6-2. No, 1-3-4 is never lines. I don't think. They're gonna top deck to 6. Top deck to 6-3. Now that actually I think I would do. I'd be willing to do that. Beyond is definitely liberal, I think. That's like the one solid foundational sort of read that you have in this game is that Beyond is lib. Because nothing makes sense if Beyond is fascist. He should have taken, Hitler Zone in 2-3. Like, I would take Hitler Zone in 2-3. There's no reason to play a blue there and then a red. Then you just have to freaking SC somebody. But, like, if you play a 2-3 conf, then 1-5-6 has exactly one fascist. And if it's not Bremen, then you're in a really good shape to get SC'd. Because one has to pick in 5-6. And that's a really good thing for you. Whoever the fascist is in 5-6 in that situation. So I think 3 is liberal. Do I think 2 is fascist still? Which would mean, again, the same thing? I don't know. I don't know totally. I don't think I'm willing to call Manu fascist here. We're 23 minutes in. We just got to the SC. Who's Scorcher gonna pick? He picks 2. Can you imagine 1-5X and Bremen does this? That would be horrible. I mean, Bremen's getting shot here, like 100%. So... Bye, Bremen. Bye, Bremen, unless Scorch is fascist. Scorcha is actually the only person I think on this table that doesn't think one is fascist, which is ironic. I think he's like, and part of him remembers the game with me. This is nothing like the game with me. I just yacht a gov, right? That's nothing like this. I wasn't even in power. No, you shoot one here. I am Bremen's teammate saying you should shoot one. What lines does 3 have? Does line 3 have lines without 1? 3, 1 of 4, 7, 1 of 2, 5. I don't think so. VC's just memeing. They're just saying to shoot one of the top 2 teammates or teams. That would be Beyond. Oh, actually, shooting Beyond here was not that bad a shot, but yeah. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and record a sort of voiceover for the last 8 minutes of this. I thought the live commentary up to this point was fine, so I guess I'm just going to keep it. And however, the last 8 minutes in the live recording of this video is just me talking to Jules, and you just hear me typing to her in the background, and I'd rather talk about what's going on. So, you know, Bremen got shot at this point, and so that too fed into my lack of commentary. Like, I just was like, well, this is the last game of the tournament where my player's dead. There's not much else I have to say here. There were multiple points during this game where Manu outs. He just kind of sits back and does whatever. He's like, okay, I'm just going to take this, right? Like, I mean, since one is outing fascist as liberal, I'm just going to take this game, and I'm just going to call this is what's going to happen, and people are going to do it. And I'm guessing that because it's like Pingu and Manu, and they are very good players, but I think part of it is just the reputation just kind of feeds into them just getting what they want. There was a lot of really bad things that went down during this game. For one, 1-5 was RBB and not blue, blue, blue. Bremen claimed later that he did not know that he got red, blue, blue. And that would have made it a 4 blue deck, which does change quite a lot. I think 6 still gets SC'd a lot of the time, so I think a lot of the time it still goes this way. Bremen doesn't really do anything to help 6 out with the shot. And so when lines turn out to be what they are, like I don't want to spoil it because I know you guys watching this will be watching it for the first time, but I kind of already haven't I? So I apologize on that front, but like I said, we lost. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, and then also when 5-1 was card conf, like that was never, like Bremen was never going to be able to recover from that. Not with this group of people. Everyone in like every seat, I think, are all going to hold them accountable for that. Like, this is a tournament game. You're supposed to play it a certain way. So yeah, this recording is happening a couple days later, unfortunately. So there's not really much I can say here that is going to sound genuine. Like, oh, this is this, someone's reading this. Nah. The most obvious thing I can say is that Manny was outing because he was just kind of sitting back and letting things happen. He wasn't trying to solve the game at all. He just willingly accepted everything, which, I mean, he should do as liberal too. I'm not saying that him doing that is outing fascist, but let's just say I think this game kind of deserved to get. Well, okay, I should actually mention this. So this game actually became voided. So the true final game is game 40. This game didn't even count for points for anything. Bremen did get a deduction for this game, and that's it. But it didn't change the point standings at all. Like, Team 2 still won. Maxi still came second. Manuk still came third. We came fourth. Bremen did get a deduction for this game for playing suboptimally, but other than that, nothing really changed. I don't know if any of the bottom three changed. Not that I think they really care. So, it is what it is. Congratulations, of course, to Medusa's team for winning the tournament. There's a lot of really... That was actually, at the beginning of the tournament, I was not betting on Team 2. I was betting on Team 6 first, then my team. And then I probably would have been sheeped by Andrew into saying Team 7 was the next. But I also thought Team 5 was going to be a little better than they were. So I didn't really see any of teams 1, 2, and 3 as being strong enough to win this tournament. So that was definitely like a markup for Medusa. His team really did well this tournament. And they just played solidly. It's not like they didn't have like giant win streaks or giant win streaks, I should say, but they also didn't have giant loss streaks. They just played principled Secret Hitler. They took their losses when they could, and they won a lot of these special games. And they did well. They did well to win the tournament. So we're going to just... There's not much more to the recording, I don't think. About 2 more minutes. I might wind up going through the replay a little bit, but I don't know. And yeah, I've still yet. It's the day after this game. Actually, I still haven't heard back from Jules about whether or not it's okay for me to unprivate the rest of the games from the tournament. There's been a dispute about that, so I'll wait for it, and I won't even upload this until that's resolved as well. So me saying that makes no sense. So if you're watching this video, that's already been resolved, by the way. 267 was Hitler. Was Lines. Yep. With 6 Hitler. So. Bremen got a lot of hate for this, and I don't think it was really warranted, because I think, they should have just remade, early on. But the funny thing about it is nobody during the game asked for a remake. None of the libs did. No one, I think everybody, if Bremen had been fascist, they would have been totally fine taking this win as liberal. But because Bremen was liberal, but I think regardless of, to me, that's why nobody in-game was asking for a remake. But I really think that, regardless of Bremen's role, you should be asking for a remake here. And they didn't. So, and I think that's part of why, that's why I agree with the mod's decision to just void the game rather than actually remaking it. Because, to me, it's if you don't ask for the remake during the game, then you're only considering Bremen fascist, right? You're only saying, oh, well, Bremen's outing fascist. So that means if he is fascist and I win, I'm not going to ask for a remake. So it's kind of two-faced to try and then ask for a remake once you discover Bremen's lib after the game finishes. So I don't know if I really go through the replay at all. It wasn't that great of a game, honestly. People, yeah, okay, I do go through it. Yeah, there you see he gets RBB and on blue, 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 and claims he never retracts that at all. So that is huge grounds for a remake, but they just never. But I 100% support the mod's decision not to remake this game. And again, I say congratulations to the teams that won. Everybody on Medusa's team, I think, they played really well. I think everybody played really well. I think the tournament was a huge success. I really enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoyed filming it. And I hope I get to keep this stuff on YouTube. So with that, I will bid you adieu.